Namaskaram. Welcome to my channel VPK Nutrition, Mind Body Healing with Pushpa. In today's episode, I'm going to be talking about the transition from summer to fall season and how what kind of changes in diet and lifestyle are necessary to keep us healthy. Stay tuned. Welcome back, everyone. In today's episode, I'm going to be talking about the concept of Ritu Sandhi or the change of season or the overlapping time between two seasons, which is Ritu Sandhi. So the last week of the previous season and the first week of the next season is called Ritu Sandhi. It's a very important concept in Ayurveda because this is the time when a lot of changes are happening in the weather, and again our body is being affected by that. And then if you do not really follow proper diet and lifestyle during those times, you can get into a lot of imbalance. So let's talk about, so we are in October, the beginning of October right now. So the September 21st is when the fall season starts. Now again, I'm going to be talking about the temperate calendar. The Ayurvedic textbooks, the classical textbooks are based on the tropical climate where you have 6 seasons, but this is actually more about the 4 seasons living here in North America. So the summer, when summer starts to end, there is a lot of heat built up in the body. So when there's so much of heat built up in the body, especially if you did not take steps to cool yourself during the season, then a lot of drying is going to happen in the body. So when the fall sets in September and on the kind of in the third week of September, and then the cool air starts to move in, the days get shorter and the nights get longer. The temperature during the day is probably in the 60s and the 70s, and the night can fall down to as low as 45 or 50 degrees. What happens is your body has to adapt to all of these changes. So we need to follow certain dietary and lifestyle regimen in order to keep ourselves in balance. So that is what I'm going to be sharing today. Number one would be the diet. Now, when it comes to digestion, if you notice, the digestion in the summer was a little low or kind of weak, but then it starts to improve as the Vata season starts to set in because we're getting ready for the cold and dry winter season. Now, again, when it comes to digestion, Vata digestion is usually erratic. So sometimes you have a good appetite, sometimes you don't have a good appetite. Again, pay attention to that always. As far as foods are concerned, we want to make sure, because it is cold and dry, we want to get the opposite qualities in our food. So we will always pick warm and freshly prepared foods which are unctuous in nature. Unctuous means adding some oils and ghee so that it has a little bit more lubrication and helps with the dryness in the body. Now again, when it comes to the taste, we will always pick tastes which are sweet, salty and sour because they have the fire element in them, and also the sweet gives you the nourishing, grounding quality for us. Now try to limit foods that are bitter, pungent and astringent because they have air in them, and again they are going to cause a lot of drying in the body, which you already have right now. Now again, also everything would depend on your constitution, your imbalances and your stage in life. So if you're already in an aging population, Vata stage of life, then those things are going to affect you as well, even more. So pay attention to that. When it comes to grains, of course, you want to make sure you get enough grains and carbohydrates because those actually give the sweet taste and the grounding in the body. When it comes to vegetables, you're going to notice that a lot of the root vegetables come up during this season. So you find sweet potatoes, yams, pumpkins, squashes. These are all very much available during the season, the Halloween time. When it comes to fruits, you're going to find fruits in season like apples, pears, pineapples, cranberries, things like that. Now, if you are already Vata imbalanced or have that tendency, I would definitely cook some of these things, add some cinnamon, nutmeg, warm them up a little bit and then eat them that way. Again, eat them in between meals, not with your meal. And then when it comes to water, make sure you get adequate water and drink warm temperature. Even if you were drinking room temperature during the summer, make sure you drink some warm water. Again, spices are very important. Spices like ginger, black pepper, cinnamon, cardamom, Those are some really nice warming spices that you can add to cooking, as well as make herbal teas with them. Of course, you can also buy the tea bags, like the ginger lemon tea bags and the peppermint and those kinds of things as well. So these are some ideas for diet during the Vata season. Number 2, lifestyle. So lifestyle, again, we're talking about activities during the day. For Vata, definitely we need to have a proper routine, getting up at the right time, going to bed at the right time, not staying up too late, because you want to get to bed before 10 o'clock ideally. And also in the morning, you get up at a reasonable time. So you kind of stick to the same schedule every day, because schedule is the most important thing for Vata balancing and keeping us grounded and balanced. Again, walking is the best exercise anybody can do. Good time to go for a walk. I mean, in the morning, if you're able to go, that's great. But maybe before dinner, the Vata time is usually between 2 to 6, before dinner. So that time could be a nice time to go for a walk before it gets too cold in the evening after dinner. Again, yoga is very, very good for Vatas. It will help you ground you. And when it comes to yogasanas, what kind of yogasanas you pick is grounding poses like Tadasana, mountain pose, or Virabhadrasana, warrior pose, Vrikshasana, which is tree pose. So anything that is standing and stable, those are good poses. Again, hold these poses for a long time and breathe into them, because you want to make sure you get enough prana during that time. When the windy, cold season, we lose a lot of prana, so we want to keep that energy within. If you're trying to do Surya Namaskar, again, don't do it too vigorously, but do it very slow, gradual flow, holding the poses longer and enjoying that moment with the breath. Third thing, of course, you can do is pranayama. Nadi Shodhana pranayama, or alternate nostril breathing, is very effective to keep that breath under control and also conserve a lot of that prana inside of us, and to cleanse our energies as well, so you don't get into anxiety and depression or fears and insecurities, and all of these Vata problems start to happen. So you don't want any of those things. So make sure you do pranayama on a regular basis. And then the fourth thing, of course, for lifestyle would be to do some oil massage, because we have so much of drying in the body. It is very good to get into that habit of oil massage every day before you take a shower. Now, if you cannot do a whole body massage from head to toe, at least start with the hands and the legs, the parts that are exposed to the wind, and then maybe during the weekends when you have a little bit more time, you can do a whole body massage including the head, and then again take a warm bath or a shower. Make sure you are also well protected. If you're going out for a walk, for example, you want to make sure your head is covered, your neck is covered, and also your feet are covered with socks and shoes, so you don't expose yourself to the cold air, because all of these things are going to create a lot of Vata in the body. But if it starts to accumulate and aggravate too much, then it's going to be even harder to bring it down. So better to take these precautions on a daily basis and be aware of that. So the more you follow these things, the healthier you're going to feel. Thank you everyone for joining me. Hope you enjoyed today's episode. Please like it, subscribe, and share this video with others who might be benefited. Have a wonderful week ahead, and see you next week.